let's get it started. Well, hey, each and everybody, and welcome to another Smoke and Mirrors. This episode is brought to you by all of your finer Sally's. Sally's, where you get your best hair products. Go ahead and get you one. And now, here's the song. Long tail Sally did something once. Don't know all the rest of this song. Go on back to where we've been at. Smoke and mirrors and keep it intact. All right, I don't know what that was. Anyway, listen, here they are, your invenerable host, Carlos Kareem Wyndham. Wow. Okay. Well, the timing of that horn, I guess, kind of lets you know what it's like, and we're here. So let's call it a blessing. Don't call it a comeback. Don't call it a comeback. Welcome. Good to see you. Good to be seen by you. When I say good to see you, it feels very disingenuous because I am staring at a little green light. So, but good to be seen by you. Got a shower today. I do recommend. I highly recommend, if you have the means and the time, catch you a shower. Also, hot take. I woke up this morning and I was flipping through the records over there in the corner. And as I was flipping through albums, I realized I had 2 copies of the Superfly soundtrack. And I hadn't listened to Superfly in 20 years or more. And I was flipping through. I asked myself specifically, why in God's name would I have 2 copies of this? My producer, my beloved, said to me, sometimes you're at the sale and you see a copy sitting there, a good, clean copy, and you think, no way, this can't be at a garage sale. And I think that's very much what happened. So I put it on, and you ready for this? Here's your hot take. Curtis Mayfield, one hell of a musician. So, hot take for the day. Curtis Mayfield can really, really blow. Hey, this is Smoke and Mirrors. Do you like what we do? Well, we'll invite a friend. Let them know how great it is. Why? Because, frankly, the thing is that we're never going to bogart. It's always going to be free. We're always going to be here for you. And Zuckerberg just keeps trying to get us to charge you. Wants us to charge you like $1 per visit to sit. No. It's free. If this is something that you feel is worthwhile, we just ask that you donate to it just a little itty bitty bit. There's so many ways to do that. One is absolutely free. Just share it. Tell a friend. Invite them to sit right next to you like a zombie. Have a peekaboo. That's free. Give it a like. Subscribe. If you're there on the YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. You can leave a comment. That'd be great. Precipitate while we're here. We can have a back and forth conversation if you'd like to. We can do all sorts of fun things. That's one way to support. Another way to support is you can go to the Venmo at Carlos-Wyndham. You can go to the Cash App at $CK Wyndham. You can go to PayPal. That's / me.ck Wyndham. And you can drop 5 on it right there. Our good friend Tracy, not producer Tracy, dropped 5 on it after looking at the episode with Actors Gang Ensemble lead actor Pierre Adeli. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Also want to give a shout out to, Juliet, upped and raised their subscription And so did Kristen raise their subscription at the Patreon. The Patreon. You got a Patreon? I do got a Patreon. We do got a Patreon, and you can become a patron at it. That's a Patreon at Smoke and Mirrors, CC and B. That's for the comedy, the culture, and the blackness. For those of you who are regular patrons, you will also see, or regular viewers, that the patron list is growing. We want to see your name there too. We want to grow this. Let's do the thing. Let's start the show, and the reason that the people might even want to do that anyway. We've begun calling it a show. That's there's lighting, there's a microphone, there's wardrobe, there's production, there's being tardy to the party, as we were today. It happens when you're live sometimes. Cups of fuck to fill up me gullet and replenish my own fucks. All right. And of course, happy return to smoking for so many in the Pacific Northwest. Welcome back and congratulations. We have been snowed in for 3 days, and many of us were beginning to run out of the marijuanas, and it was looking tough. Oh, thank you. I'm looking lovely. Well, thank you. It is so lovely to see you, my dear friend, Erica. That's Erica, the Black Miss America. We've been knowing each other for a good time. So yeah, we've been snowed in here, like all across the country, because that's what's happening. As Miss Erica, Miss America there, herself, evidently is the hoodie and the cold up there in New York. Thank you for being here from New York. And so we just got out. After 72 hours of being snowed in, and went to deal with the acquisition of cannabis today, and it was. There was a line. It was popular. I don't know. People like it. Another thing people like is music. Do you like music? Well, I have some you could like if you want to. Yeah, I make it. I make it from my own mouth hole and my brain hole. And I do it with a band. And we're called Wallace. Wallace has an album out, and it is called And We Ride. This is our pandy gift to you. Do you got the Apple iTunes player, whatever that thing is? I don't have one, so I apologize. I confused them all. I don't know what any of it means anymore. But go ahead. You can listen to it there. You can listen to it on Spotify. But what could be great, if you really love it, again, support the things you love. And I know we are all struggling in this here pandy and looming depression. But if you can do, and you are in such a position and it is a possibility, and you really do dig what we do, way to make it possible for us to keep doing it is to support us on Bandcamp. That's Wallace the Band, bandcamp.com. Sincerely appreciate your support. And I think we do a pretty nice job. I think you will like what you hear. Speaking of liking what you hear, huh? Look at that. You can like these two. That's Dana. That's Dawn. There they are. And they're my friends, and they got a podcast, and that's a podcast called Myelin and Melanin. You may have heard of it if you were recently reading Sonia Renee Taylor's This Body Is Not an Apology, because she may have mentioned in the foreword that there was an interview that she did, a conversation that she held there that made a bit of difference and impact on her thinking in the purpose of why she wrote what she wrote. And what a privilege to see that recognition, to know about that recognition. I had the distinct honor and privilege of co-hosting on that day. I am a somewhat regular co-host, and our friend Dawn was unable to be there that day, but Dana and I held it down as best we could. We will all be there together, though, this Saturday. Tune in at your favorite podcast catcher, whatever one that is, and tune in. We're going to have a good conversation. It's going to be another roundtable conversation. It's going to be a little political, a little serious, a little fun, and the way we do it. That's going to be dropping on Saturday. Okay, I think that's enough drops. Let's have one more hit, and then we'll get on with the showy show. Hi, great to see y'all. So kind of you to join us. As you know, we are available on YouTube. That's in my channel, Carlos Kareem Wyndham. So if you're not able to see it live, you wanted to go back and see a few minutes, what was happening in the beginning, you want to tune in a few minutes later so you can skip over all of the wonderful things I'm sharing with you. You can, because as I said, we do this for free because of the love, and that's what we do. Joshua, doing a great job as always. So wonderful to see you. Love you. Fatima, y'all don't even know. Technical was we were having issues right before we got together today. We were over in the writers' room, scripting department, and production department. Shout out to Tracy. We were to the minute, which is the least favorite thing that anybody watching one of these ever wants to hear or cares about. So on with the show. Hey, Paul, thank you. Hey, listen. There's Lindsey Graham having a look at Mitch McConnell after Mitch realized that he had been drinking Lindsey's down-home peach tea. They won. They won the impeachment trial. They found Trump guilty but innocent but guilty, which is a wonderful trick, and should be a new fragrance from the GOP. Innocent but guilty. Just fantastic. So now the Republican Party is firmly inhabited by and gladly handed over to not only white supremacists. Let's not act like that's new. We have the photographic evidence of Mitch McConnell posing in front of that wonderful Confederate flag. We have a voting history from both of these gentlefolk. So we don't have to pretend that that's new. What is new is that the GOP, the Grand Old Party, has invited now a new element to be front and center. So congratulations to the GQP giving themselves over to the QAnon crowd, and evidently sedition and charging buildings is okie dokie. We don't want to get too deep into it. We don't want to spend too much time there. It's gross. I'm grossed out by it. It leaves a foul taste in my mouth to think about it for too long. And it's dangerous, and it's true. What is also true is that the followers of Q are, if you're paying any attention to their chitter chatters, now suggesting that Donald Trump is going to take the White House back over on March 4th. So this was, again, still all part of the plan. This was all part of the plan. And losing all of the seats in the House and not gaining any in the Senate and losing the presidency and all of the powers of law and the Attorney General's office, that was all part of it. Oh, also, Trump is being sued separately from this now. So that's also true. But while we are thinking about what happened, we knew it was going to, right? This is not a surprise on any level. The jurors were in fact also people who were the subject of the trial, and they were conferencing on the side. They were out loud in front of everybody. CNN, you could watch it all day. You could see Paul Ryan running around without his mask, just gathering up, giving advice to the lawyers. And the lawyers, boy, they needed advice, right? This was a rough one. Let's talk about what happened there. First, remember this guy? Castor in that suit, that ill-fitting suit that looks like something that he may have picked up at the Salvation Army on the way to court. And his opening statement was, I'm here for the prosecution. And evidently he was. Papa Trump was pissed. And so they got rid of him. They needed somebody who could toe the line. This guy didn't want to toe it. Hey, yeah, this was it happened. The white supremacists came here. Just Trump didn't do it. And also Philadelphia and freedom of speech and things was, I guess, the argument. When he's like a beat poet in an ill-fitting suit. It was a strange experience. Well, Trump was pissed, and so fired him. And he was replaced with this gentleman, Michael Vanderveen, seen here immediately after offering reach-arounds to all of the Blue Man Troop. Michael Vanderveen, seen here after crushing Papa Smurf in his palm. Michael Vanderveen doing his best Justin Timberlake impression and telling all of the other Smurfs to smell his finger. This angry little fellow became the representative of Donald Trump and carried the party line, and also became the representative of white mediocrity ascending. He was a, what are those words? Bad lawyer, with shitty arguments, who won a rigged case. And, when that happens, when you've been told that you're a special little boy and that you are the one who's gonna save the world, but then and everybody else knows that it's a rigged case. And white people, one, that's the only way they can win, and two, consistently, and two is that we didn't learn anything then, Republicans, from the tales of one Rocky Balboa and Rocky III. You can't send a fighter up to fight paper tiger after paper tiger after paper tiger, and then they feel like a champion on the inside and like a big boy. And Mr. Vanderveen, not to be confused with James Vanderbeek. I don't want to go another. No, Vanderveen's had an attitude about having won. And, well, here he is with reporter Lana. Is it Lana? Thank you. Lana Zach of CBS News, mansplaining why it's good to be a winner. I don't know if you got the chance to see this little gem. This was him after having been asked a question, which was a major part of the defense, that you are saying that the evidence was presented that was not the true evidence because of a Twitter post with a blue check mark. You're saying that the blue check mark was not correct. It was not a check marked account, and the date was not the 20th, but the 21st. Is this it? And this is what you presented, that won you the case, is it? And Mr. Van der Veen, seen here showing his true penis size, did what you see here. That's like an extraordinary amount of like genitalia jokes for what we do here. That's abnormal. We did like 2 reach around jokes about him. Yeah. And a lady reach around Smurf joke about him, and then now talked about his penis. I want to take this back to the writer's room a little bit. It's getting a little it's getting, I mean, yes, he deserves it. Fuck him. I'm not saying that. We're just getting a little specific in the types of genitalia. We could just say genitalias. No, yes, he's talking about his testicular fortitude. That's also a funny idea. I like that. But also, being this kind of a dipshit is not necessarily tied to one's masculinity or testicular fortitude, though, again, white men make this a very difficult argument to make. Anyway, this was seen as one of the rudest and most misogynistic things to have happened on television in recent memory, which is amazing because what that says is that the United States has a very, very short memory. Very short memory. Ow, boy. Well, let's transition over to what we're going to do now. This is a new thing that we're going to do, and it's not a new idea, right? The idea is not new. The way we're going to do it is new. We had been issuing awards for accidental racism here for quite some time, right? No, yeah, because the LL Cool J song. And so much has happened in this past week that it just seemed like one award didn't quite get it. And so welcome to the new segment at Smoke and Mirrors, Accidental Racism. We're just going to get all into it and talk about all of the accidental racism that happened this week. No accidental racist at fault. First, I would like to introduce you to one Tessica Brown. Tessica is a resident of Louisiana who made a mistake. We've all made mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, oh yes they do. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Everyone, your mom and dad, brother, sister too. So hers was a hair mistake. Now, I've never known a black person who has made a hair mistake. And part of that has to do with white supremacy, because hair products for black people are hard to come by, as are natural hairstyles. And if you want to whip your hair, as many black people do for many reasons, and we are well past the time now of dictating or mandating whether or not whipped hair has anything to do with one's presence of mind of blackness. It does not. If one wants to have whipped hair, there are many, 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 many toxic products that one can choose for their hair. There is even a wig glue that is in fact called something like Gorilla Paste, something to this degree, that is meant to help hold onto place a snap cap if you choose to wear that out at the grocery store. Don't want that to fall off. A wig, certainly, and keep your baby hairs nice and on point, and it's beautiful. A hairstyle that is a set it and go hairstyle. Do you know what I'm saying? Something that it's ready for the week. You don't have to worry about it. And different ways that you can wear it under a cap. They are gender neutral. Folks of every gender do wear their hairs whipped in the black communities. Now, Tessica made a mistake. She thought that I'm out of glue for my hair right now, and I need some hair glue, but I do have on hand this Gorilla Glue spray, and let me use it. And she did. Now, the results were disastrous and fabulous. My girl's hair was perfect. Okay. It was absolutely gorgeous. It was not going to be messed with. It was also not going to grow and was probably going to break off. And she needed to get some help. And she did. And she did. And she even took her story to Twitter and shared it with Black Twitter and warned everybody, hey, don't do what I just did. This is a mistake. Let me tell you why it's a mistake. Let me demonstrate to you why it's a mistake. All of this sort of thing, right? Well, the Twitter community had a reaction. And a lot of that was a lot of misogynistic capping on her for her mistake, in spite of the fact that she did, in fact, work very hard to correct it. And a lot of the analysis that I've heard has been at very best mean, at very least uncreative, and certainly at most openly misogynoiristic and antagonistic. And it's been gross. I do want to shout out, though, one of the people who's done a wonderful job with it. If you'd like to hear some kind of thoughts on it without a lot of like poo-poo and boo-boo, please do check out this week's Minority Corner with James Arthur M. It is a podcast. Again, you gotta get your podcast catcher. And he had a guest this week. They had a fabulous conversation about just this incident. And it wasn't mean. It was fun. It was funny. We tease each other. Of course we do. Look at me. I know we tease each other. I couldn't walk around dressed like this if I thought people weren't going to tease me. What? I'm like a leopard peacock in lace. Like, this is ridiculous. And I love it. I know what I'm serving, but it's teasable. Yes? She knew this was teasable, right? But the question is, who ends up teasing you? Is it going to be teasing you, your people teasing with you? Or is it going to be antagonistic teasing at you? And when it is teasing at you, who does that serve? For whom are you creating your commentary? I don't know, but based on the fact that we live in a white supremacist, capitalistic patriarchy, if we are going to give an intercultural tease and it's going to belittle black women in front of a large audience, it seems that who that benefits are the key beneficiaries of said patriarchy, white people. And I don't know if that's the audience or if it's not for the audience of black folks to keep them in check. And a lot of people have taken part in it. It was all over Black Twitter. Joshua, we're bringing that up. Okay. It was all over Black Twitter. And once a thing gets on Black Twitter, as we know, because a lot of comedy writers, very creative, very great stand-up comedians also on the Twitter, will bring that work over to their places of work. And many of them work on fabulous shows. One of the fabulous shows that they work on is Saturday Night Live. this week on Saturday Night Live, there may have been a little bit of a bit about the mistake made by Tessica Brown. And it may have evidently, I don't know, was director's choice, actor's choice, required that the actors portray black people as imbeciles who can't speak the King's English should they so choose. I believe the word in the common vernacular in the United States for that is coon. Is, yeah? Right? Check in with the research team. Cooning? Okay. And to see that happen with Regina King was so sad for me. It hurt my heart so much because I loved her. I love her in 227. I loved her in Watchmen. I loved her directorial debut. We talked about it here. It was brilliant. This performance was not brilliant. This performance was a bit rude. Based on the way that their eyes are bugging out a bit and their hair is set, I'll bet you can guess what their voices sound like. I'm not going to do that voice because I don't need to. It's the voice that is a sort of an imitation of the voice that Eddie Murphy used to do for white audiences quite a bit. If you've heard Eddie Murphy speak, then you've heard Eddie Murphy perform. Those are two drastically different voices. Now, to have a nationwide and, in fact, global audience, they're going to be, and in fact, in this nation, because it is a white-dominated nation still, a population of that audience, most paying, are going to be white. And so imitating or doing a loose imitation of such a thing. Not that they shouldn't. I want to keep this in mind as well. Both of these people have been famous for black people since they were child actors. We've known them. They knew who Eddie Murphy was. They knew there was a way that if you were going to be a funny person on television and you were going to be the most popular and famous funny person on television, that you had to act. They know what that is. They're both very good at it. They're good at it. I'm not saying they're not good at it. I wonder if in 2021 it is good to do. That's all. That's the thought that I was having. Oh, also, I'm going to put this out. The monologue, yikes. Yikes, honey, yikes. And not just because Regina King is not a comedian, and it is very hard for people who are not comedians to hit the proper beats in stand-up, okay? That's difficult for any actor. But also because the monologues seem to be written for the perspective, again, of white people. Hello, white people. You don't know who I am, but black people I've been famous to them since I'm 12. You may have seen me in these two places. What? Fuck white people. We know why you're here. Do you, girl? And then here he comes again, and play. Just listen. It hurt my feelings. That's all. I love them both. I love them both deeply, and I feel like we can do better. And it hurt my feelings, and some other people who hurt my feelings, who I think can do better, are the hosts of widely recognized currently as one of the best top 20 podcasts of 2020, and I'm so thrilled for Black success. Let me say this. Also, I have recommended this very podcast to many people because it is on a network that I love very much. The podcast is Fantai. Fantai is a podcast that is about the gray areas of life and the things that of which we are fans, but for which we may have some questions. And so it seems that given that that is the format that they set up, that it would be appropriate for me to ask some questions about a few things that have happened on the Fintai recently, because I love the Fintai very much. Now, before I get too deeply into the Fintai, I want to say something. I love the Fintai. I am a card holding, in good standing member of Maximum Fun, the podcast network to which they belong. I donated this year. I supported Fintai. I give regularly. I give to the podcast. I give to the things to which I believe. And I supported the Fintai this year. I want to say all of that before I say the next two things. One, they had a show recently on which they were discussing the term BIPOC, and it was wholly dismissive and gross. And so I want to say, as somebody who learned myself from some of the youngs who have picked up the torch of the work of racial justice and racial harmony in the world, that the reason that we use the term BIPOC, and the reason that we will often say Black, Indigenous, and people of color, is because people of color, a term that has been used for Black people, was extended during the 1990s in particular, and had a history of having been done many times before that, in which people of color was expanded, and we invited people in, and we were trying to produce a true multicultural political movement. As we did, that term got co-opted by white supremacist capitalist patriarchy. What? As things do. Michael Jackson, Jackson 5, Donny Osmond, and the Osmond brothers. It's just what the fuck they do. All right? So they started doing that. And the next thing you know, because of their own internalized anti-Blackness, even though they were saying multicultural, even though they were saying BIPOC, even though they were saying people of color, they weren't saying BIPOC. Excuse me. Calm it down. Even though they were saying multicultural, even though they were saying people of color, they were not any longer including any Indigenous voices or any Black voices. We now include Indigenous voices on the regular, because we know when we say that the people upon whom genocide was committed, it was not. They are alive. I am in communication with them. I am one of them. My ancestors are Flathead Hopi from New Mexico. And I am not saying that in some weird way. Look at you, girl. I'm not the darkest skinned one in the room. I know who my people are, okay? So when we say BIPOC, we are saying Black, Indigenous, and people of color, to ensure that funders, to ensure that the radicals, to ensure that the people with whom we have to collaborate and work if we are going to make change in this world understand that Black people, and using the lessons and the genius of Black resistance and survival, is an absolute necessity if we're going to move forward. As is the recognition of Indigenous folk, the fact that they are here, and reparations must be paid. BIPOC. Raven, a thank you. Listen, before I say the next thing, I just gotta say, I love Maximum Fun. I love them for it. I have purchased many a ring from my man Jesse. I'm saying all of that before I say the next thing. The way that the folks at Fantai framed and spoke about Tessica Brown and kept referring to her as Gorilla Glue Girl, and were entirely dismissive both about her mistake and her struggle, was one of the wildest expressions of misogynoir, of internalized self-hatred, of knowing that you're embarrassed that somebody did this and needing to separate yourself out from it and making yourself special black as though every black person in the world hasn't done something crazy to their hair. Or something dangerous to their hair. And it was rude. And it really hurt my feelings because I really, really, really admire the bravery of the team at Fanti for living fully into who they are. I am full, the audaciousness of who they are and the way that they provide representation for folks across the gender spectrum, and in particular in black queer communities. They're beautiful. They're beautiful, right? Aquanet, right? Come on, Bo knows. Shit. People fuck up their shit. I know where I'm supposed to look. I'm sorry, Joshua. My bad. So it was rude and it was unnecessary and it was anti-black and it was anti-woman. And I don't know why. I do know why. I see, and that's the thing. When I start saying I don't know why we do a thing, I know goddamn well why. It's the same thing that we was talking about before, right? It's white supremacist capitalist patriarchy. That's why. We are all looking for a way to express how fabulous we are in spite of the fact that we are told that we can't be fabulous. We have done this eternally. We did this when we were putting lye in our hair. We did this when we were putting all sort of things in our hair. We couldn't put clay in our hair the way that we did when we were back in the homeland. We couldn't use honey the way we did back in the homeland. And we'll put any what the fuck ever in our hair to be able to get it to do what the fuck we wanted it to do while we were here under the guise of enslavement by white barbarians. And so to now criticize one another for the way that it did or didn't lay is no different than having little jokes about Michael Jackson being flammable because that girl's hair caught on fire while they were doing the Pepsi commercial. Okay? The shit wasn't funny. This is somebody actually lighting on fire and going to the hospital because the special effect got fucked up. Why is that funny? Richard Pryor running down the street on fire. Why is that funny? Why is somebody literally embalming themselves, literally putting themselves on fire? Right? And trying to escape the horrors of everything that they were facing, and do your own research in their relationship with Paul Mooney, with his own son, with crack cocaine, with women, with comedy, with being rich and not realizing that he didn't have to be funny to be popular anymore, and then did what he did as an act of self-hate. And y'all got little jokey jokes. I had jokey jokes. Everybody had jokey. He had jokey jokes. But the jokey jokes he had was with, and the jokey jokes y'all had that was at, he even closed live on Sunset Strip by saying, fuck y'all, about you little fucking jokey jokes. Remember? He was talking to me. What's this? Richard Pryor running down the street. That was the jokey joke. Y'all remember? How the fuck is this different? When are we going to stop ripping each other down? Now, here's the thing that really kills me about this. While we were spending all this goddamn time ripping apart this black woman and Saturday Night Live is doing this little bullshit and being embarrassed to be black at the same time that it got all these beautiful black cast members on there now. No different than the reason that Chris Rock quit the goddamn show when he was on there for one season. Please do remember that. Please do remember that. Okay? Nothing has changed. All this time that all this bullshit was happening, y'all missed what was happening in the white world. Because this man was doing stupid shit. What she did, that's a logical mistake. This man, Jonathan K., he's I guess we'll say a reporter. What does he do exactly? Broadcaster? Okay, some kind of broadcaster in Canada. This motherfucker washed his hair after buying and taking home and getting into the shampoo, into the shower, was washing his hair with dog shampoo. Okay? All the black people who was making jokes about a black woman setting her hair with glue, you missed all the jokes that was available about a white man who voluntarily washed his hair with dog shampoo. How long have we been talking about white people smell like wet dog? Oh, missed it. It was right there. And this man did the whitest of the white things that you could possibly do when this happened, and just tweeted out and got all pissed off and got upset at the motherfuckers from the makers who make the shit, Arm & Hammer, and told them that it was their fault that he had washed his hair with dog shampoo. Yeah. He was called stupid. And then he said, because he said that cancel culture was going to come for him. Hey, achievement unlocked. I was trolled by Seth Rogen. Now, just one more time, I want to give the what Seth Rogen, not to be confused with Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is the muscle boy. Seth Rogen is the marijuana boy. Seth marijuana, Joe is the muscles. Seth marijuana, Joe is the muscles. Okay. Seth Rogen, the troll that he provided to this man who said the cancel culture was going to come for him. All he said is, "You're stupid." He said, "You're stupid." Right? You didn't know it was dog shampoo? It's called dog shampoo. You're stupid. Says it right on the package, right? Now, here's what this man had to say about that. Can we move this over, please? There we go. Let's see. Canadian journalist Jonathan Kay has been hard at work explaining how exactly the cancel culture Twitterati deceived him into using canine healthcare products. This is exactly what the holier than thou mob does, explained Kay in a lengthy Quillette editorial. When they are not deplatforming hardworking journalists for something as trivial as endorsing indigenous appropriation, they're sneaking into your bathroom in the middle of the night and replacing your very ordinary Aveda men's shampoo with an insidiously subtle bottle of Arm & Hammer dog shampoo. An insidiously subtle bottle. So that means that if I saw this bottle, I would be confused. If y'all saw this bottle, you would be confused. I don't think that the bottle's that confusing. That's the bottle. It got the dog right on it. Right the fuck on the front of it. Right there. Boom. 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 How you gonna put that on? And you really? Nigga. What? And then when you got called stupid, your response is what? Oh, achievement unlocked. I wrote about this shit. Ha 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 ha. Look at me. Right? And Seth Rogen just lets him know, I ain't trolling you. This was objectively stupid. I honestly have no clue who you are beyond this stupid tweet. That's just for me. That's just for me. That don't got nothing to do with nothing. I just like it. This motherfucker right here. You know what I'm saying? All this shit. And y'all just missed all this shit. How? Stupid motherfuckers. Well, happy end of the story for everybody who was trolling, and let's again not lose focus, because you missed it and lost all these jokes, didn't get any of the good jokes, didn't get to talk about how white people breed with dogs, how they kiss dogs, how they let dogs into their bed, how they snuggle with dogs, why they smell like dogs. Maybe it's in their blood. Maybe it's a recessive gene. Missed all those jokes. Just fucked it up. Fucking with this black girl. Well, guess what the fuck she got? More followers than you've ever had in your fucking life, and a publicist. Please meet Gina Rodriguez. This is her new full-time publicist. She got the help that she needed. She helped a whole bunch of black women, and she got a publicist and the blue check mark. Fuck you. How about that? How about that? How about that's our segment, Accidental Racist? Cause the shit happens. And at the end of the day, you can't forget that you missed this. You missed the joke. Missed the opportunity to talk about it. Take it out. Congratulations, Gina. Congratulations, Tessica. Shout out once again to James Arthur M. and the folks at Minority Corner. I Fanti this week. I still love you. Member in good standing. Please do not forget. I gave you money many times this year, so please just come on my show when I call you, and then we'll talk about it, or have me on your show. Let's talk about it there. I don't care, but let's talk about it. It's a little bit distressing because everything else that you're doing is great. Tessica, love to you from everyone here at Smoke and Mirrors. And thank you so much for helping out so many folks in the black community this week. And everybody, let's all do better than to be accidentally racist. We'll find new ways to do it next week. It's okay. It's the water in which we swim. We're just fishes. We're just trying to get along. Fuck it. Let's take another hit and get the fuck out of here. Why not? Fatima, how we doing? Is that a show? We good? Where are we on time? Josh, 54 almost. Oh, shit. We're out of here. All right. Thank you, everybody. You know what it is. It's Smoke and Mirrors and the place to be. Share it. Drop 5 on it. Yeah, Patreon it. Do the things. Bye. This has been another Smoke and Mirrors. Do you like what we do here? Well, check us out over at the IG. That's IG at Smoke and Mirrors CCB. That is for the comedy, the culture, and the blackness. You can also check us out at Twitter at Caballo Negrito. For the monolingual amongst us, Caballo Negrito translates as why practice misogynoir when white people smell like perro mojado? Why practice misogynoir when white people smell like perro mojado? At Twitter. Caballo Negrito at Twitter. Hey, do you have a comment? Do you have a thought? Do you have a question? Do you have a suggestion about a thing we should talk about or a guest we should have on the show? Well, you know what you can do. You can drop that to us at Smoke and Mirrors CCB. That is for the comedy, the culture, the blackness at gmail.com. Hey, this is a thing that is executive produced by the one and the only Tracy Tatamy. This is produced and hosted by yours truly, Carlos Karim Wyndham. This is the part where I tell you, please take care of yourself, take care of each other, stay inside, wear 2 masks, get a vaccine, then get another one, then still wear 2 masks and still stay 6 feet apart and still stay inside. Why? Because this is starting to drive me fucking crazy. I want to go back outside. I want to perform for you live. I want to smell your pheromones. I want you to smell mine. And I love you. Okay. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Tuesdays and Thursdays. We'll see you on Thursday. Bye.